distinguished guests, graduands, your families and your friends, and Bond University colleagues, welcome to this 130th Bond University graduation. This afternoon we will confer degrees in the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine and the Faculty of Society and Design. It's my pleasure now to introduce Bond University's Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Tim Brailsford.
Well, good afternoon everyone, and welcome to another tremendous occasion. Graduation ceremonies are special events and special times. These ceremonies are all about recognising the achievements of the proud graduands who are about to graduate, who sit here in front of me today. So this day is the culmination of, in most cases, many years of quite hard work. It's the culmination of very long hours, days of long endeavour, sometimes nights of despair, wondering about whether or not you'll be able to get through the end of semester exams or the project or the assignment or the essay or whatever it is, but you did. And the university is very proud of you and very pleased for you. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who have travelled to be here with your loved ones today, thank you very much. We appreciate your support, and I'm sure they appreciate the fact that you are here. For those of you who live more locally, you will know that this weather is particularly unseasonal, and I have been convincing some of our guests, particularly those from overseas, that this is a rare and unusual event when sunny and blue skies are not above us here at Bond. So my apologies for the weather. Let me acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet here today, and it's my honour to do so. These lands originally were looked after by the people of the Yugambeh language tribe, and I'm pleased to acknowledge and recognise what they have done for the land and that we are here for their efforts. There are a number of special guests who I would like to acknowledge this afternoon. Indeed, you are all special guests, each and every one of you. But I would detract from the moment if I was to recognise each of you individually, so forgive me if I do not, but let me recognise just a few. And this ceremony will be presided over by the university's 8th Chancellor, the Honourable Dr. Annabelle Bennett, who is seated there. Annabelle is joined, and we are fortunate to be joined by her spouse, Dr. David Bennett. David has a distinguished career and is also the holder of an honorary professorship in our Faculty of Law. Professor Darryl LeGroux and his wife Josephine are members of the Bond University Council, and we thank them for all that they do for the university. By its nature, Bond University is different. I'd like to describe this university as the most successful and the greatest educational startup in our country. Every other university in this country has been formed out of a very deliberate act of government or overseas organisations. This university was formed off the basis of private enterprise, following the spirit of entrepreneurship and free enterprise. And when this university was established, it was determined to be different. One of the things that it did was to say we are going to be an international university. And around you here today are the flags from which we draw the origins of our students. And so I think there are 90 odd nationalities which are represented in our current student cohort. In the current climes, embracing the concept of a global community and a global village is not so popular these days. In these days of nationalistic fervour, we somewhat swim against the tide, and we will continue to do so because our belief is that all the peoples on this earth are of one. And this university, given its embracement of diversity and our international outlook, sets itself apart in that regard. Ladies and gentlemen, you have in front of you or on your seat a copy of today's program. You're welcome to follow the events as they unfold. I ask that you respect and acknowledge every single graduate as they come up here across the stage to receive their testama and indeed have their moment in the sun. Graduands, this is a very special moment. Enjoy it, embrace it, and as you walk across the stage, do not trip. I'm delighted to welcome to campus this afternoon our occasional speaker, Professor Anne Kelso. Professor Kelso is the Chief Executive Officer of the National Health and Medical Research Council. For those of you who do not know what the NHMRC is, the acronym standing for National Health and Medical Research Council, it is the Australian Government's flagship medical research funding agency. Professor Kelso originally undertook her doctorate studies at the University of Melbourne, and following completion of her PhD, she went into the research field, specialising in immunology at the Swiss Institute for Experimental Cancer Research in Lausanne. Followed by stints at the Walter and Eliza Hall Institute of Medical Research in Melbourne and the Queensland Institute of Medical Research in Brisbane. From 2000 until 2006, she was also the Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Cooperative Research Centre for Vaccine Technology based in Brisbane. After that period of service, she returned to Melbourne as Director of the World Health Organisation Collaboration Centre for Reference and Research on Influenza. And in 2015, she took up her current role with the NHMRC. Professor Kelso holds an honorary professorial appointment at the University of Melbourne. Her research is recognised globally, and her record is exemplary and distinguished. She is a member of several government and international committees, including the Australian Medical Research Advisory Board, which advises the Minister for Health on the strategy and priorities of the Medical Research Future Fund. She also sits on the board of the Global Alliance for Chronic Diseases. In recognition of her service to science, she was appointed an Officer of the Order of Australia in 2007, and her academic standing has been recognised as a Fellow of the Australian Academy of Science. Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in welcoming our occasional speaker, Professor Anne Kelso. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you. Chancellor, the Honourable Dr. Annabel Bennett, Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Tom Brailsford, distinguished guests, graduands, ladies and gentlemen. I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of these lands, the Yugambeh peoples, and pay my respects to their elders past and present, and also acknowledge any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who are at this gathering today. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the honour of speaking at this ceremony today. It's an honour because I know how important this day is for each of you who's graduating, but also for your families and friends who've shared the journey with you, so congratulations to you all. I actually didn't get to my own graduation ceremonies, I won't give you the stories, but I haven't forgotten that feeling of completing my degrees, my BSc Honours and then my PhD. The relief, the sense of achievement, but also that feeling of transition from being an undergraduate student to being a postgraduate and then an actual scientist, which is what I'd always wanted to be, and that feeling of real life beginning and going out into the world. Now, of course, your experience may be different. Many of you will have worked while you've been studying. Some of you may have come to university from other careers. Some of you will now go on to postgraduate study. You may or may know you may or may not know yet what you want to do next. So each person's experience and aspirations will be different, but today I think you can all share the pride in your achievements. Why go to university? Chances are your answer to that today might be a bit different from when you started, and we all enrol for different reasons at the beginning of our degrees, because perhaps it's the pathway to the career that we think we want, perhaps because we expect to get a better job at the end of it, perhaps because our friends are going to university or because we're not sure what else to do yet. There are many different reasons. I actually don't think they matter very much today. What matters is what you've learnt from the experience and how that changes the life you're now going to lead. Now, of course, you will have acquired knowledge, information, techniques, the immediate skills that are going to help you practice your profession, whatever that might be. But I expect you've learnt a lot more than that. You'll also have acquired the tools you need to explore the world, to recognise the limits of your knowledge and to find the information that you don't have. You'll have learnt to synthesise information, to draw together different threads so that you can develop new knowledge and to extract what you need from that. You have the tools to venture far beyond what you already know. And I think most importantly, you'll have developed the analytical skills and critical thinking, the logical framework that helps you to question and learn about the world around you. With analytical skills comes a healthy scepticism that we need more than ever today. Scepticism in the face of the mass of advertising, lobbying, fake news, and opinion that we confront every day through social media and other forms. You can see through the media hype now in your own field, and so you can apply the same principles of critical thinking to other fields. You've learnt the difference between opinion and evidence. Critical thinking skills really matter when you need to make important decisions, and they might be like what type of health practitioner to go to, what type of treatment to have when you have a serious health problem, who do you trust, or the participation in the big decisions that we have to make as a community about the privacy of our personal data, the use of new gene technologies to modify humans, the design of our cities, artificial intelligence, the shift in global power from west to east, or how to respond to climate change or the international refugee crisis. You've also learnt in your studies about other people. You've shared your time at university with many people from different backgrounds and cultures, with different life experiences. You might have seen the way different people deal with the challenges of daily life and study. You might have learnt the value of other people's perspectives, and you might have seen that talent comes in many different forms. These are also lessons to take out into the wider world. If our society is to thrive in a complex and changing world, we need people like you, people from all disciplines who can think for themselves, engage with and debate the big issues, listen to and respect the opinions of others, and lead us into the future. Now, I went to university in the 1970s, and it might as well have been a century ago. When I left with a science degree and a PhD, it was my dream to spend my life as an academic researcher in a university or in a research institute. And I spent many years doing just that. I worked at a beautiful institute in Switzerland with a view of the French Alps, skiing at the weekend. I then went to the Walter and Eliza Hall Institute in Melbourne, which is not a very good view, but wonderful science. And then to QIMR, now QIMR Berghofer in Brisbane. So far, so good and so predictable. I really loved it. But when I got about halfway through my career, I wanted to stretch myself in a different way. So I continued my research and I experimented by taking on other scientific roles, first as director of the CRC for Vaccine Technology in Brisbane and then leading a World Health Organization Influenza Centre in Melbourne. That got me involved in global public health and pandemic preparedness. Then 3.5 years ago, I left behind my own research for the last time and my influenza job to move to Canberra and become a public servant as CEO of the National Health and Medical Research Council. So my university education was a launching pad for a career that has taken me from laboratory research to negotiating investments in a startup company to develop vaccines, to a WHO mission to China to advise the Chinese government on its response to a new bird flu outbreak, and now to advising the Minister for Health on the Australian government's funding of medical research. It's certainly not what I expected when I left university. Today, the information I acquired at university all those years ago is virtually irrelevant. The laboratory techniques I learnt have long ago been superseded. They were just the beginning for each of my jobs. What I've needed to do is to acquire new knowledge and skills and work in a different way, different sorts of people, across countries, across cultures and across disciplines. But the capacity to know the limits of my own skills and knowledge, and they are certainly limited, to gather and synthesise information from elsewhere, to analyse and think critically, these all came from my university education and they've been the tools of my daily life ever since. So today you step out as graduates. Today more than ever, we need the skills that you bring to the world. Treasure them, nurture them, build on them, use them wisely, and we're all going to benefit. None of us knows what the future holds, but we do know that you have the tools to succeed. So congratulations to you all and good luck.
I always stand up on this because it's like all the better to see you with. It's like if you remember the story of one of those nursery rhymes or whatever they were, fairy tales when you're a little girl or boy. It's interesting. A lot of people say things like, you're entering a changing world, the world is going to be different, you've got to have skills, lifelong learning. These are expressions that we all use all the time. I think it's fair to say that Anne has given you meat to those words. Because in the end, and it's a topic that I believe in fervently, you grasp every opportunity that comes your way, that you've got a skill set, but every time you get a chance to do something else, you can get a new skill set and you build on them, and it gives you bigger and better opportunities that you couldn't even foresee. And your university education is the beginning, and it does give you those skills, and it does give you the ability to analyse. And I did science and then law, and in those days, and I'm not going to say how long ago it was because then you'll add up things and work out how old I am, people said to me, how can you do science and then do law? Don't they think differently? Well, of course, as Anna said to you, analytical skills are analytical skills. And you get that in whatever discipline you're going through, and that's what university is all about. And you've got the opportunity to step through all these different skills as she's described and as she herself is an example of, and take that forward. So I think the messages she's given you have given real meat to the sandwich, a real basis for understanding what it means to be going out into a changing world and using lifelong learning. So I'd like you to join with me in thanking Anne for what I believe was a truly inspirational address. Well, as everyone has said, this is a really exciting day, and it's exciting not just for the graduands, for whom it's sort of very, very special, but it's also really very special for the family and friends who are here. And here at Bond, we understand that apart from the normal care you've given your children and your friends, there's an extra dimension in choosing Bond, because we know that many of you have made many sacrifices in ensuring that your children have got the best education that you believe they can have. And I guess, we had a talk about this at the council the other day about what makes Bond so special. What makes it a situation where the opportunity to study at Bond is priceless? Why is it that parents are happy to know that their kids have come here and are leaving here with something, it's like not only a university education, but also that they've come out as Bondies. And that is really special. So we decided that one of the reasons why this university is special, one of our council members called it the cuddle factor. And it's part and parcel of our size and our amazing staff and their commitment to treat every student as an individual and to watch that student, to make sure that student expands to feel his or her capability and doesn't fall through the cracks. So it is a special place. And whenever I go anywhere since I've been involved with Bond, I go out somewhere and someone says, what do you do? And I sort of say what I do. And one of the things I always say first is I'm Chancellor at Bond. And I can always tell if there is a Bondie in the room, because as soon as you say the word Bond, their faces light up. And I've not seen that with any of the other universities that I've been involved with, and it makes this really, really special. And it's because of the students, and it's because of the staff, and it's because of the approach that the students come first always. But before I go on, I just want to make one observation. As I walked in, I noticed that there were some very young people in the audience here to support the graduands. Now, I know you're going to find this really surprising, but they may not find the whole of this event as absolutely fascinating as you do. So if they wriggle or call out or want to run around a little bit, please be tolerant and forbearing. We certainly are at this end because we recognise future bondies when we see them. And we want them to come back. We want them to have a happy memory of today too, and we hope you'll join with us in ensuring that they enjoy it. So I've sat here as a parent. One of our daughters came to Bond and it was a life-changing experience for her, and it's another one of those standard expressions one says, life-changing, but it actually was. And there's always that fear on the part of every parent, and that is that something is going to go wrong between the moment they've come here to watch their child graduate and the moment when they walk across the stage, because you're not graduates yet, you know that. I mean, the power is still there to stop it happening. So there's always this moment of saying, don't let anything go wrong. Don't have it that someone says, not that one, before he or she crosses the stage. So I'm just about to get to the point that really matters. But before I do, I just want to say to you, we've so enjoyed having you here. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed you being here. Some of you will be continuing. Some of you will be staying on. Some of you will be staying on to do postgraduate degrees. But we want you all to come back. Come back to visit, come back for homecoming. Stay in touch with each other because the friendships you've made are too good to let go. Take those friendships with you wherever you go and always be bondies. I mean, we've got alumni associations everywhere. If there isn't one in your home country or your hometown, start one up. Because we need you to keep part of our cohort. As far as we're concerned, you'll always be there with us. So I'm going to move on to the really good fun part for you. Now that I've done that, I'm going to present the individual testamers. But before that, there's one formal task that I'm going to do. So I call upon the Chair of the Academic Senate to present the candidates for the degrees.
Will all candidates for degrees please stand? Chancellor, I wish to present graduands from the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine and Faculty of Society and Design for admission to awards of Bond University. Chancellor, I certify to you and to the university that the graduands have satisfied the requirements for admission to the award for which they are being presented.
With the authority of Council, I hereby admit you to the awards for which you have qualified. I also admit those who have qualified for their degrees who are unable to be present today. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the moment of graduation. Please join with me in congratulating the most recent graduates of Bond University. We now move to the formal presentation.
Chancellor, the following candidates are presented for the award of Research Doctorate. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Gait Performance and the Benefit of Exercise in Adults Living in Residential Aged Care, Samantha Rose Feen. And with a thesis titled Lifestyle Management of Chronic Kidney Disease, Telehealth Strategies for Effective Self-Management, Jamin Kelly. with a thesis titled Playing with Movies, Film to Game Adaptation Form and Contexts. Scott James Knight. And finally, with a thesis titled Pre- and Perinatal Parenting Education for the 21st Century, the Biopsychosocial Factors That Impact Thriving of Mother, Father, and Baby, Christine Lynn McKee. Chancellor, I present undergraduates from the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine. The acting executive dean will congratulate each candidate after they have been conferred with their degree. Razik Irfan bin Razali. Sophie Elizabeth Lamont. Navkiran Baines. Joshua Andrew Kalman. Chancellor, I present postgraduates from the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine. Gabrielle Beardwood. Rhea Joseph. Gurjeet Kaur. Derek Ng. Phoebe Hope Drysdale. Chancellor, I present undergraduates from the Faculty of Society and Design. The Executive Dean will congratulate each candidate after they have been conferred with their degree. Caitlin Taylor Grimmett. Anjana Banerjee. Alexandra Louise Cashin. Chantel Bree Jarman. Gabrielle Ann Larkin Baxter. Milan Antonino Natapi. Tate McLaren Gaze. Kitapan Prasartsapar. Abby Claire Byfield. Mariana Livio Bandera de Mello. Lockie Sean Oppenheimer. Victoria Michelle Serre. Sabrina Sultana. Freya Cecilia Wedberg. Nathan Daniel Billett. Trace Buckler. Charles Robert Hughes Grant. Anyu Ho. Yana Kate Joaquim. Yamali Lagantha Ranasinghe. Hong Tok Tan. Ki U. Rajun Ye. Mo Chung. Jack Robert Charter. Harrison Morris Forbes Dowd. Arabella Sheevy. Jessica Street. Sabian Wycliffe Chase. Dominic Fraser Anderson Strudwick. Mary Lou Cameron Bertrand. Mary Jean Carlion. Faith Rebecca Ruth Considine. Chloe Cassandra Kendon. Freya Margot Park. Chloe Reed. Sarah McDougall. Callum Tavera McCreth. Yi King Ren. Jeremiah Roger Bolina. Brittany Evans. Daniel Ian Simons. Eden Trevitt. Catherine Vargo. Lee Joseph. Chancellor, I present postgraduates from the Faculty of Society and Design. Joshua Legg. Peter Lapp. Maria Elizabeth Candia DeSimahu. Renee Belinda Swan. Melanie Jade Townsend. Nicola Sean Utrich. Cindy Walsh. Yun Fei Bu. Finn Steenfat. Karina Clea Cordero. David Cardona Ibarra. Subaru Ken Maroy. Ki Chen. Brad Hutchins. Indra Kumar Dekal. Venu Gopala Krishna Chaitanya Behera. Yi Fan Hu. Junyan Huang. Brendan Hutton. Chun Ling. Lisa Tanaka Masiwa. Gautam Reddy Pally. Jabing Pen. Zi Wengzhe. Meng Yang. Yan Yi Yang. Jun Kang Ye. Linda Yu. Ah Ting Yong. Wen Tao Wang. Devi Kumar Bagavelli. Ting Ting Chen. Ji Zhang Gao. Lu Han. Wing Hen Ip. Muna Lawazu. Lanfei Li. Yan Fan Li. Cheng Kai Liao. Juning Lin. Shi Wen Liu. Shun Yun Luo. Jin Wei Pei. Yuan Ying Pei. Samundeshwari Ramanan. Ran Tian. Siting Wang. Zaha Wong. Tienga Wu. E. Shah. Huiling Xia. Qi Shu. Shihao Shu. Xingting Shu. Shi Chao Yang. Tian Yu. Jingwei Cheng. Lin Zhang. Yuxing Zhu. Ashwini Soni. Hatav, Sunny, and Delaby. Peter Grover. Abdur Rahman. Mohammed Jude Awad Khatib. Prithvi Raj Bhagavati. Pamela Antonia Muniz Garcia. Shabam Sandi. Stephanie Matatil Jacob. Prajit Sivakumar. Conrad Jacob Arthur. Brett Peter Kewitt. Belinda Lee. Casey J. Scott. Chu Hui Huang. And Tong Quinn Shu. Chancellor, the Valedictorian has been selected to give the Valedictory address on behalf of the graduating cohort this afternoon. She is graduating with a Master of International Relations and a Master of Project Management with a cumulative grade point average of 3.7 out of a possible 4. All of her graded coursework results were either distinctions, 5, or high distinctions, 13. She has been awarded first in class for 7 subjects, been placed on the Dean's List for Academic Excellence on 2 occasions, and the Vice Chancellor's List for Academic Excellence on 3 occasions. Graduating with a Master of International Relations and a Master of Project Management, both with high distinction, and a cumulative percentage average of 86%, Courtney Patricia Condren.
Well, it wasn't nervous, but you know. Good afternoon, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, staff, family, friends, mentors, and most importantly, the stars of today, my fellow graduates. It is a strange and unexpected honor to be on this stage today, so I thank you. When I was thinking of doing this speech in front of all of you, my fear wasn't the thought of speaking for 7 minutes. That didn't seem like an issue. I still remember giving an hour-long seminar for Jonathan Ping's class, and being me, I managed to bring in Keynesian economics, and I would have spoken for hours. Luckily for my peers then, I did not, and luckily for you today, I will not speak for very long. No, what scared me about giving this speech was when Deputy Vice Chancellor Alan Finch told me to try and be funny. Because I'm not a funny person, at least not on purpose. Usually, if I'm making people laugh, it's an accident, or it's because my indignation has gotten the best of me and provoked some sort of humorous outburst. So, knowing that intentional humor wouldn't be my route today, I started to think about what I would have wanted to hear from former speeches, or what I would have wanted to hear were I sitting in that crowd today. And there are several graduates here today who can tell you that I accosted them asking, "What do you want your valedictorian to say?" Because I had no idea. And after a week without inspiration, I realized that I was completely failing to write this speech. And so I started looking back on my time at Bond University. And what most came across to me was that the successes, be they personal, professional, or academic, were this broad mosaic that felt good, but in which I couldn't really find the lessons I had learned. And so I started to look back at my struggles and my failures from the past 2 years. And looking at these, I was able to see the lessons that I had learned, and I realized that it was these moments of confusion and failure that had driven me to be better. In making mistakes, I learned what to do and how to do successfully next time. Not everyone learns from failure, but those who do know it is failure that teaches us infinite valuable life lessons. So as we move forward with our lives, to new jobs, new places, and new opportunities, I urge you all to celebrate your success, but to learn from your failure. And there will be failure, but it is okay to fail. And I think that that is what I wish I had been told sooner, and that is what I will say again today, that it is okay to fail. A professor from my undergrad once said to me that if I was going to fail spectacularly. And those words and the meaning behind them have stuck with me. But what did he mean by that? I'll admit it took me a while to figure it out, and I still only have my interpretation. But I think what he meant is that you need to give everything that you have to succeed at what you set your mind to. And if you fail, even after all that, you can know that you fought your hardest. If after all that you don't succeed, you have failed the very best that you possibly could, because you couldn't have given any more. And you can look at that failure, you can learn from it, you can grow from it, and you can improve yourself so that you are prepared to succeed next time, whatever that next time may be. And that, in and of itself, is a success. And that, to me, is what it means to fail spectacularly. So I say, on this day that marks a beginning, a new time in all our lives, to go out and aim for success. Give everything that you have to pursue your goals, and know that if you fail, it will be a spectacular failure that you can claim as your own personal success. A stepping stone on the road to success as others may define it. Because success may be what others remember, but it is our struggles and our failures that will teach us how to succeed. And this brings me to a favorite quote of mine. Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Until writing this speech, I actually thought this was a quote by Dr. Seuss. But further research, because I am a research junkie and I wanted to get my facts straight, taught me it was originally said by FDR presidential advisor Bernard Baruch, and he was referencing his dinner party seating arrangements. Today, I'd like to focus on the meaning I've taken from the quote and not the dinner party aspect. But what I have taken from it over the years is don't be afraid to be different. Too often, there is that voice in the back of my mind telling me that I am not enough, that I can't do something, or that people will judge my actions if they don't conform. Or there exists that simple question of why me? Why me and not one of a million others? But in those moments, I remind myself that we as humans are our own harshest critics. And if you give in to that voice, you won't be able to push forward. You will live life on other people's terms and not your own, and you will say no to new opportunities when what you should say is yes. A graduate in this room, one that I accosted, told me now that he has graduated. He feels as though his life is truly starting. And upon reflection, I realized that I felt the same. This graduation marks our transition to a new phase of life. Our world is starting now, and reaching this day is an immense achievement. And you, graduates, I hope that each of you feels that same sense of achievement. Because while we each have our own drive, ambitions, and motivations that have gotten us here today, we share the common thread of being here together. And as our paths diverge going forward and we head out into this new world, I hope that each of you says yes to the opportunities that are sure to present themselves. These opportunities will vary from person to person, but I encourage you to aim for the success that you deserve. Make sure that the path you forge is your own, and that any failure you do encounter is as spectacular as possible. So once again, congratulations to all the graduates here today, and welcome to the newest group of Bond alumni. Thank you.
Indeed, Courtney, we owe you thanks, our collective thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, the valedictorian at each ceremony is selected on the basis of academic excellence and academic merit. And as you heard, Courtney's academic record here is absolutely outstanding. And we never know what a valedictorian is going to say. We don't train them. We don't give them speech notes. We leave it up to them. We trust them. And each and every ceremony, I'm constantly amazed by the grace, the humility, the strong and powerful messaging that is expressed by our valedictorians. And Courtney, yours today was absolutely no exception. It was wonderful, it was powerful, it was selfless, and it says much about you as a human being. You should be very proud, as indeed I know that your family sitting here is. I had the pleasure of meeting them, albeit briefly, earlier today. And there are tears of joy and pride in their eyes right now. My congratulations on delivering a fantastic valedictory speech. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please thank Courtney again. So here at this university, we have various traditions, like putting on some fancy dress from time to time. We have a tradition at each and every graduation, which is to ask the graduating class whether or not they accept the university's charge. So this is essentially a set of words that encompass a challenge to you as to how you will live the rest of your lives beyond Bond. So I'll read out the charge and then ask you whether or not you accept. So graduates, will you please be upstanding? I charge you as graduates of Bond University to demonstrate at all times the highest moral and ethical standards, to apply your learnings and education to the benefit of society, to pursue the highest standards in all your endeavours with excellence always your aim, and to forever support and enhance the reputation of your university through engagement as proud alumni. Do you accept that charge? Come on, I had a really good build-up for that. I'll ask you again. Graduates, do you accept that charge? Yes. Thank you. Please be seated. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to draw our formalities to a close. To our graduates, thank you for choosing us. It's been a great pleasure. I personally, together with many of our staff, have got to know a few of you on an individual basis, and it's been a wonderful experience, and I trust that our friendships will continue well beyond your years here at Bond University. Graduates, we recognise that your journey here today, not just your journey at Bond University, but the years that preceded that, were only made possible by family, friends, and a number of supporters. Many of those are here in the audience today, but many are not. And there will have been people that would have influenced your lives, no doubt, that would love to hear from you today. Not by text, not by email, not by Facebook. They would actually love to hear the sound of your voice, particularly those who are geographically far and distant. So while the day is all about you and celebration of your successes, just find a moment at some point in time to call those who could not be here today and just give them those magical words of thank you. It will mean a lot. So you leave us with great energy, great passion, great ideas, great training, a skill base, but perhaps most of all, as our Valedictorian expressed so eloquently, a sense of personal learnings that will serve you well, whatever the future holds. On behalf of the university, it's been our great pleasure to have you here. We trust you will always engage with us. You know our saying, once a Bondie, always a Bondie. And you leave us with our blessings and our thoughts, best thoughts and goodwill. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been very patient. It's been a fantastic pleasure to welcome you and have you here at this university today. You have an opportunity, one last time, to make a bit of collective noise for the latest graduates from Bond University. So give it up.